Hey guys, Modern Country Mama here, and today I'm going to be talking about why our family decided to homeschool. I guess I'll just start out with the youngest asked, and that was one of the main reasons, and the fact that I've already been playing with the idea of homeschooling pretty much ever since the first was not even in pre-K, because my husband was in the military at the time, and we were worried about stability for her and any children that would come along in the future, but my confidence wasn't there. I don't know how to teach anybody. My patience can sometimes be thin. And I figured there's people who go to school and are accredited and everything for a reason, so that was my biggest setback for the longest time. But I will say, had I known half the stuff I know now, there's a really good chance I'd have gotten over my fear a long time ago. For me personally, my setbacks were, I don't want to say I'm not very good at teaching my children, because all parents teach their children, and, they learn along the way all on their own, so it's more my mental block. I feel like I can't do a lot of things that I'm actually pretty good at. It's hard to give myself credit sometimes. And I didn't realize so many programs out there were so user-friendly and so calm and go with the flow. That's actually the reason I decided to go with Oak Meadow. Besides hearing a lot of homeschoolers chat it up and say good things about it online, when I looked at it at the younger grades, I was just like, man, if I had found this way back when the oldest was, not even in pre-K, I would have gone for it, because they have a very, I guess you would say, unschooling approach to the younger grades, just getting them their hands in the dirt, getting them outside, getting their curiosity piqued, and there's no rush to learn to read, and these strict, I don't know how to describe it, just real strict, kind of scary, you must do it now, if you don't, you're not smart. And they take the complete opposite approach to it. They're very relaxed, very fun, and a lot of people call it Waldorf Light. So, which is a nature-based, relaxed, back-to-earth kind of, from my understanding, from what I've seen. I'm sure someone else who's done this much longer can give you a much better explanation than I can, but I just love that it piqued the love of learning, and everything was very relaxed. If you're slow, then you're slow. It's not a big deal. And if you're fast, then you can skip ahead, or you can add in extra things to the curriculum itself. And I think that's wonderful. And they give you guides, give you ideas of books and things like that to read extra of for a subject or subjects that you're currently learning, if your child's ahead in it, and or they want to go more in depth. So that's why I've chosen to go with Oak Meadow. It's also really nice because if you don't want to do curriculum only, if you really, really want teachers' help and guidance, for about double the price of the curriculum, they'll bring in teachers, they'll keep records, and a lot of schools, a lot of states will consider it accredited, because they are accredited in their state. I believe it's Massachusetts. I'll double check that and put it in here somewhere if I'm wrong. That, yeah, those were my setbacks, holdbacks. For the youngest, besides her asking and the seed being planted in my head years ago, she's got like a type of anxiety. It's not officially diagnosed, but there are times she comes home so frustrated, so upset, because she didn't do absolutely perfect on something. She's very competitive. She couldn't get extra time with the teacher to clarify a subject, and it's not really the teacher's fault per se. It's how everything's set up in the school system now, where you just got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to keep going because you got to get this done so you can get that done so you can get that done so we can take a test. Test. So sick of the tests. And yeah, again, I'm over my fear of screwing her up, because I realize you almost have to try to screw them up in order to screw them up. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's, if you're trying to make them better and you know where to look for resources, or at least if you have a little bit of a support system, and now with YouTube and blogs and everything, there's a massive community out there for homeschoolers, which makes it so much easier. In fact, I found a lot of free resources, and anyone with a really tight budget out there who wants to homeschool, I found through other homeschoolers here on YouTube and other places, like blogs that I found through Pinterest, that you actually can teach your kid for next to nothing. It's just going to cost you time. So it's a matter of, do you want things, laid out for you in a nice little, teacher's manual, textbooks and everything, worksheets, you can finish them up. There's a price to that. Or you can do many things online, many things at the library for free. It's just going to cost you your time and effort to find these quality products, books, creative projects and things like that. It's going to take your time, but it can be done, I've found. In fact, the way our finances have happened, we're fine, don't worry about that. But to pay for her curriculum, it's going to be just out of our reach until about 2 weeks from now, and I wanted to get it 2 weeks ago, if that makes sense. Like, I wanted to get it last paycheck. Well, I'm going to get it next paycheck. So, considering it's coming from, like I said, I think it's coming from Massachusetts, and we're in Florida, it's going to take about 7 to 10 days to get down here. So I'm going to start the school year out with some of those free resources I talked about, and actually I'm going to be putting them at least in the description box below for those who are curious about what I found. And I might put some links on the side if I'm able to. So with those resources I've pointed out, you'll find that there is actually a lot of places to go online to help out your children. And even if they're not homeschooled, if you just want to, kind of like tutor at home because they're, having a hard time with a subject, there's those websites, since they're free. I mean, obviously you don't have to just use it for homeschool. You can help your child with a subject they're having a hard time with. Like Khan Academy is really, really good for math, and they're expanding, but that was how they started out. Again, link. And the majority of the links that I'm going to be sharing, you'll find the younger grades especially have wonderful little tasks they can do and games and things like that. It seems that, in my research anyway, that the really young grades and like the high school grades are getting a lot of really in-depth projects, really detailed works. But there's not so much for middle school. Not to say that there isn't any at all, because that's not true. But from what I've found, it's easier to find the younger grades, and it's easier to find the high school grades, especially with the high schoolers. Like, hey, you can do this project, you can do this sort of volunteer stuff to, help out your college resume, to help you for the SATs, the PSATs, and all that stuff. But middle school's, I guess, like life, it's in the middle. There's stuff to be done, but so many people forget the middle things, or just they just get themselves in such a good flow. I guess some people forget to put that content out there for the rest of us. So if anyone has those middle school resources that they just absolutely can't live without, or they heard someone else for their children because yours aren't there yet, or whatever, if they're really enjoying this certain resource, I would absolutely love it if you would share that down in the comments, not just for me, but for other homeschool moms and dads that are starting out. And, we all need to help each other. That's how, we grow as people. I would say a community, but I guess I don't have very many people in the YouTube community with me just yet. But I'd like to think, we're all in this together, so let's help each other out. So next time I do a homeschool video, I'm going to show you some of the free resources I found pretty much by accident on my home computer. It's Excel and Word documents, actually. So if your computer doesn't have that, I'm sure you could make one up yourself off the templates that I'm going to show you. And if you already have it, then don't worry about creating it. I didn't create these. They were already created for me. They're just hidden in the software. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.